Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to IDTMyWay, the podcast where we explore innovation, design, and technology and talk to the ones who do it their way. This episode, we are joined with Tim Malley, who is the Director of Pipeline Integrity at CSNRI. We are so excited to have you, Tim. I've done some work with you before, and I know that everybody that meets you at IDT Expo this year is just going to love you and have such a fun time. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I guess, first of all, just to get started, I kind of want to talk about you as an individual, kind of your career, where you went to school, and how did you even get started in the pipeline industry to begin with?
Yeah, so I actually kind of stumbled into the pipeline industry. I graduated in 2010 with my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Tulsa. And then my only offer out of college was for a composite manufacturer named Citadel Technologies, and didn't have any other choices, so I took it. But I've loved every second of it. I started out in the industry as a project engineer, so I got to do designs for composite repairs for pipelines, got to do some product development, R&D, different types of testing programs, quality assurance, really any hat that I wanted to pick up, they would let me wear it. So got to travel the world and make sure that the world's pipelines are safe.
That's awesome. I love that. Is that kind of your why? Is that your motivation behind everything that you do?
Yes. Yeah. So, I didn't appreciate this coming into the industry, but just how important pipeline safety is. And especially when we see it in the news of everyone antagonizing the pipeline industry as if it's just this evil place. But what they don't see is that we all work really hard to make sure that hazardous materials, hazardous gases, liquids get transported in a very, very safe way, the safest way that we have available. And if they could see, the stuff that we do day to day to make sure that everyone around us is safe and everyone gets to go home to their families at the end of the day, I think that the general public would have a whole new appreciation for pipelines.
Absolutely. I love that perspective. So with CSNRI, first of all, how did you even come to work with CSNRI, and kind of what is the background of CSNRI?
Yeah, so CSNRI doesn't really give you much into who we are or what we do. It's kind of a nebulous company name, but we, over the past 3 years, have merged or acquired 5 different composite repair manufacturers.
Wow.
So lots of change. We all used to be each other's competition, and now we're all under the same roof.
That's so fun.
It is now.
Yes.
We've had our bumps along the road, that's for sure. But now that we're here, now that we're together, we really are getting to pick and choose the best of the technology from all the different companies, the best of the expertise or different perspectives that we've had on the composite repair industry, and take those solutions, and instead of each one of us taking one product and trying to push it, say you've got to fit this product into each and everything you do. Now we can actually listen to pipeline operators and say, what is your issue? What are the things that concern you the most, and craft an actual solution that's, not just the right solution for what they have, but also has been tested, validated, it's compliant with the regulatory codes and standards, and, has been tested to the nth degree. So that when we know that it gets out to the field, it's where we need to be from a safety and reliability standpoint.
Absolutely. I love that. So I guess with kind of these 5 companies having come together and working together, do you think that that's kind of one of the main benefits of working with CSNRI? And I guess why is CSNRI important to the industry? Why is what y'all do important?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm going to start kind of out of left field, but hopefully work my way back. But we all used to spend our time kind of looking at what the competition was doing from a composite standpoint. So I would look from my company at what ClockSpring was doing or what NRI was doing and try to raise my game as a composite repair provider. And now that we're together, instead of trying to look at other composite providers, no offense whatsoever meant to that. Instead of fighting here, we want to advance the industry to a point of seeing the testing and the validation and the hard work that's been done so that we can provide solutions and solve really difficult problems that the entire industry is facing. So hopefully when you have an experience with someone at CSNRI now, you're getting asked questions, you're being heard, we're listening to what's actually going on your pipelines, and we're able to design the appropriate solution for those problems.
Yeah, and I guess to clarify for our audience, can you just very almost in bullet format, can you kind of just lay out what exactly CSNRI does, what products and services you guys are offering and doing right now?
Sure. Yeah, so we are a manufacturer of composite repair solutions for reinforcing, rehabilitating, adding strength back to corroded, damaged, cracked, defected pipe. So we take really old pipe, we restore it back to it being better than when it was when it first got put in the ground. And then we guarantee and provide performance and design for a long time.
Absolutely.
So from that perspective, what we're really aiming to do is just take old pipelines and extend their design life for the amount of time that pipeline operators are looking to keep them in service.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, y'all do so much cool stuff. And I guess with that, I'd love to touch on, because obviously you're doing a lot of work with ADV integrity as well. Kind of just want to touch briefly on that relationship and kind of the work that you guys have done together as separate companies, whether it's to the GIP or some of the other stuff that you guys have done. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so how I see ADV integrity and IDT Expo is they are the validation house, for taking new technology, bringing it in front of operators who have been doing things one way their entire career and saying, look, you really can trust what these guys are saying because we've tested it here, and we validate it. And we have the expertise to be able to, engage not just with engineering at pipeline operators, but also with the regulators. And they've seen a lot of technology come through and worked on testing and validating that. So really just adding that element of trust. It's not like as CSNRI, I'm testing it, taking it to the operators and saying, you should trust me, I tested it. It's putting our work in someone else's hands and letting them do the hard work of showing what its limitations are, what its abilities and capabilities are. And, so ADV has helped that out a lot.
Awesome.
And a couple cool examples of where we're pushing the envelope a little bit. So when I got into composites about 11 years ago now, if you would have told me that we'd be repairing crack-like defects in high pressure transmission pipelines, I would have started running for the door. So here we are 11 years later, and we've developed so much technology that can not only permanently reinforce crack-like defects, but we've put it through lots of different testing programs, developed fracture mechanics, modeling and analyses, and now we're bringing that to a head with a joint industry project right now, where there's a lot of operators on board who are interested in using this technology to be able to permanently reinforce those hard to repair defects.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, because we got to work on the GIP video together, and I'm super excited about that project. So kind of you've been going to IDT Expo since we first started, which has been really cool just to see you year after year participate in our events. And I guess speaking to that, what are some of the benefits that you see in participating in IDT Expo? And what are you excited about in joining in with IDT Expo moving forward?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I think Chris Alexander put it best when he says this industry is about relationships. And so what IDT Expo is a great forum for is providing ways to connect and build relationships. So he has a really neat diagram that he likes to put up on the board and illustrate for, I think he starts every IDT Expo with it, but just showing how to actually get new technology into the pipeline industry, you got to have innovators, you got to have, end users, so the pipeline operators.
Yeah.
You've got to have investment for the innovation, and then you've also got to have regulatory compliance. And so getting all those same people in the room together, having difficult conversations, but are what it takes to push the industry forward as far as providing more tools that are regulatorily accepted and compliant in everyone's toolbox.
Absolutely. Well, we have loved seeing your smiling face at all of our events. We think that you just light up the room. And so we're really excited to see CSNRI participate in our June 4th event. With that, for those of you who are interested in registering for our June 4th event, you can go to idtexpo.com, click events, and you can register right there. We have both a virtual and in-person option. So Tim, we're excited to see you in person there, and can't wait to highlight CSNRI as an exhibitor there. But thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you not only partnering with IDT Expo, but just the incredible contribution that you give to industry. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Awesome. See you
Take
later.
care.